Welcome into College Football Now by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, back at it with another College Football Now live show here on a Wednesday. Appreciate everybody for hanging out in the chat. We see Tony Fuentes, Ernest, the NFL Kid, a few other people in there as well. Thanks to everybody for coming and hanging out today. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching from. We'll let the audience build up a little bit. And then we got a jam-packed show, a lot to get into, so stick around for that as well. So shout out your city. We are here in our Dallas, Texas studios here at Chat Sports. We want to know where all of you are. Tony here in Dallas. We got Jeremy in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Shelly in Winnipeg, Canada. We got James in, Okeechobee, Florida. We got the NFL Kid in Raleigh, North Carolina. Producer Nick, big North Carolina Tar Heel fan. Big North Carolina Tar Heel. Hey, Drake May's back.
That's the GOAT you're talking about right there.
The
Drake May
is the GOAT, according to Nick Roloff. Tony, we're happy to have you here, Tony. It wouldn't be the same without you. Appreciate you hanging out today. Where else are you guys at? Where are you guys watching from? Come on. Got more people in the chat. Shout out your city. Let us know. Shout out to the real ones. NFL Kid says Carolina Panthers playoff bound? Maybe. NFC South is that bad. NFC South is that bad. GM is in Iowa. GM Evan, is that a Boise State logo? Nick A is in Nashville. We got 313 saying, what up? What's up, 313? We got Andrew in Sussex, Wisconsin. John in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right, who you got in the first of two CFP semifinal matchups, Michigan or TCU? Type MICH for Michigan or TCU for TCU. Who you got in this matchup coming up on New Year's Eve? About 2.5 weeks away from the college football playoff matchup. So who you guys rolling with? Gaming says Michigan, Andrew, and James going Michigan. Marvin says TCU. Tony says TCU. Jeremy says Drake maybe, and North Carolina will finish 7-5 next year and go to the Music City Bowl. Yeah, but he'll throw for like 4,300 yards.
What did Drake May and UNC ever do to you, Jeremy?
Jeremy Wilson goes with TCU. NFL Kid says TCU. Duggan SZN. Michigan in double overtime. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know if the mentals would allow for me to handle a double overtime game. For those who don't know, I am a TCU alum, so I will be dialed in. Shelly going with Michigan. Jay says go blow. Prediction on Vols Clemson game. I have no idea. I might roll with Clemson because I think Tennessee's going to have more opt-outs. Jalen Hyatt just opted out of the bowl game, but obviously Hendon Hooker's hurt. So I might go with Cade Klubnik and Clemson. So we'll have to wait and see. Today's show is sponsored by Fetch, and I am a real big fan of the Fetch app because, number one, it's free, and you should download it right now at chatsports.com/Fetch. And number two, it allows you to scan receipts to earn points, which you can later turn in to gift cards. So be sure and download the Fetch app today, chatsports.com/Fetch. Super easy to use. Use the app to snap a photo of your receipts from purchases from any store, or you can also click the e-receipt option, which you're seeing on your screen right now, as Fetch can connect to your Amazon account and your email address as well. You can earn those e-receipt points when you take an Uber, when you order online purchases. Those points can also be redeemed for gift cards to your favorite stores and restaurants, retail stores as well. Fetch is available for iPhone and Android for free. Use our link, chatsports.com/Fetch. That is chatsports.com/Fetch. And plug in promo code CHAT. So when you scan that first receipt, you will get 5,000 bonus points. Download the Fetch app today, chatsports.com/Fetch. Scan receipts, earn points, get gift cards. Sound like a good deal? Go check it out. All right, our next college football playoff semifinal preview is Georgia and Ohio State in the Peach Bowl. Who you got in this one? Type UGA for Georgia. Yes, Hyatt opted out today, Nick A11. If you missed that news, Jalen Hyatt opting out of the bowl game. He's going pro. Ohio State, type OSU. Someone says Grayson McCall to Liberty. Is that actually a thing? Because if it is, I need to know. I don't think it is. That's a thing yet. Now, his coach went to Liberty, but the team's in the mix for McCall because he's visiting Auburn this weekend, so he is not committed anywhere. Gaming says Ohio State. Tony says Georgia. Shelly says Georgia. NFL Kid says Ohio State. We got James saying Ohio State, Matt saying Ohio State, Tony saying Georgia, Shelly saying Georgia, Evan Hinder saying Georgia. Coastal Carolina has to find a quarterback with Carpenter being arrested. I don't know who Carpenter is. Is that the backup quarterback to McCall this year? NFL Kid says Ohio State with the upset. Jeremy says Ohio State as well. A lot of Buckeyes in the chat. Andrew says Georgia. Chualor says Georgia. Let's see. Who you rolling with? Bulldogs, Buckeyes. Rolly, who you got in these two matchups? Have you put thought into them yet?
Well, I'm going to take Georgia in this matchup. I think they're just too physical. Ohio State's a softball club.
I like that.
In the other one, it's tough. I think, is the spread still 7.5?
Yeah, I like the points.
I do like the points. I'll take TCU,
to cover,
plus 7.5.
Michigan to win.
I think the score will be like 28-24 Michigan.
I could see that.
That's my prediction.
I think 30 is the magic number there. If you score 30 points in that game, you should win. So we'll see. Chualor saying Georgia, go blue from Smooth J. We'll see what happens. What do you guys think the better sport is, the NFL or college football? Type NFL or CFB in the chat. We cover both here at Chat Sports. Just another reason to subscribe. But it's really just whatever your flavor is. NFL, college football. Gaming Wizard says college football. GM Evan Hinders is just making predictions. DJ Uyunglele to Florida State. That's not going to happen because Jordan Travis is coming back. Andrew Hawley says college football. Both from Tony. Chua says college football. Kareem, that comment got blocked. But what if I say college football? I mean, I don't need hoes. I'm married. I'm wifed up, so I'm good to go. FSU don't need DJ. Stop it. Yeah, he's not going there. CFB from James. Daniel says CFB. College football is where it's at from Jeremy. I love both, man. It's a tough call. It is a tough call for sure. But this is the channel for you because luckily we do cover both here at Chat Sports, youtube.com/@chatsports. All right, busy show today to get to. Like the video if you're ready to go because here's what's coming up on college football now. The transfer portal tracker, things heating up, more players entering, more players starting to commit to schools as well. So we will update you on all of that. Also, National Signing Day is a week from today. Top 25 recruiting classes as we sit right now. Todd McShay released his first mock draft of the 2023. We'll break that down. And then also back to recruiting. It's actually top 25. I ramped it up. Top 25 uncommitted recruits. So we'll go through all of that and more as well. So busy show here on college football now. Don't go anywhere. Like the video if you're ready to rock and roll. Well, let's go ahead and dive on in. You're watching College Football Now. I am Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports, here to catch you guys up on everything surrounding the college football transfer portal. More guys committing, other big names still available, lots of rumors out there, so we'll get you caught up on everything as we know here on Wednesday, December 14th. And first, a big commitment earlier today is Michigan tight end Eric All is staying in the Big Ten, leaving the Wolverines to go to the Iowa Hawkeyes as Eric All has committed to Iowa. He will join his former quarterback Cade McNamara, who also left Michigan as a grad transfer to commit to the Iowa Hawkeyes after, losing the job to J.J. McCarthy this year. Now, Eric All came onto the scenes last year in 2021 with 38 catches for 437 yards and 2 touchdowns. Only played in 3 games this year. Dealt with some injuries, so he will be back and reunited with Cade McNamara at Iowa, a team that obviously needs some offensive punch. And Iowa has a good history of developing tight ends, so hopefully Eric All can take the next step there. And there's been rumors out there of Cade McNamara trying to poach Michigan players, guys who, maybe aren't getting maximum playing time for Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines. So Eric All is one domino to fall for Iowa. We will see if more follow suit in the coming weeks as the transfer portal is really just starting to heat up here. Another notable commit in the transfer portal, former 4-star recruit and Miami cornerback Kamari Rogers. He is joining Mississippi State, who actually just promoted their defensive coordinator in the passing of Mike Leach. Type RIP in the comments, by the way. Just tragic story there at Mississippi State, but they have promoted their defensive coordinator to get that head coaching job. Kamari Rogers, a nice transfer portal commitment for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Now, do you like the transfer portal? Are you a fan of it? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm seeing a few RIPs come in for Mike Leach. Huge Mike Leach fan here. Been watching him since his Texas Tech days, so was really sad to see that news yesterday. So hopefully him and his family and the Mississippi State community are starting to heal there. But type RIP for Leach, and also let me know if you like the transfer portal or not. Some other portal commitments. We talked about Eric Gall and Rogers. Defensive lineman Keon Barnes, he has transferred to USC. One of a few SMU transfers here as they land linebacker Ahmad Walker. Dalton Cooper is heading to Oklahoma State. They've got 4 players out of the portal now. Seven McGee going to Jackson State as they promoted T.C. Taylor, I believe, to replace Deion Sanders there. He's going to Jackson State, so that's a big commitment from them. Trevor Radosovich is going to Colorado State. Campbell Barrington going to Baylor. Defensive lineman Devin Clowney going to Charlotte. Jay Cordybrook going to Duke. And then wide receiver Christian Leary, one of the bigger names in the portal. He is going to Central Florida. A few other commitments coming in the last day or so. Cornerback Cale Sanders going to SMU. Jaden Gold to Syracuse, another SMU commitment. Hiram White. Tight end Jalen Franklin to Michigan State. And then Texas lands a punter in Ryan Sanborn. So some of the more recent transfer portal commitments coming through in the last 24, 36 hours. Now, Fetch is sponsoring today's show, and it's a really cool app that's 100% free that I encourage you guys to download. It is free on iPhone and Android when you use our link, chatsports.com/Fetch. That'll redirect you to your app store, and you can download the Fetch app today. And the reason you should do that is because Fetch is a cool app that allows you to earn points by scanning receipts. So when you fill up gas, when you go grocery shopping, when you eat a nice dinner, or when you order purchases through Amazon or other online purchases, you can sync up your Amazon account and your email address as well and earn points that way. And you're probably saying, Harrison, what do these points do? Is this like a football game? No, it allows you to build up points which you can later redeem for gift cards to a Starbucks, to a Walmart, tons of restaurants like Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, and a ton of other places as well. Get started today. Download the app for free, chatsports.com/Fetch. Once you get to 10,000 points, that is equal to a $10 gift card. Really awesome, really free. The points start to add up. And this holiday season, I don't know if you're like me, but got to do a lot of Christmas shopping. You got a lot of receipts to go through. Start scanning them, earn those points, and redeem them for gift cards. Chatsports.com/Fetch. That link will be in the comments and in the description. Oh, we're giving you 5,000 bonus points when you use promo code CHAT. So get signed up today. Chatsports.com/Fetch. All right, let's take a look at the top players still in the transfer portal right now. We got Fintrell Cypress, the cornerback out of Virginia. I know he's been a player that has been linked to Ohio State. We will see what happens there. Could be some NIL money for him in the coming days and weeks, depending on where he ends up going. And then a lot of quarterbacks here. Devin Leary, North Carolina State, who is getting some draft buzz coming into this season, gets injured, decides to leave NC State and transfer elsewhere. We will see where he ends up landing, but he is still available. DJ Uiagalelei is still out there. Clemson, quarterback who's entered the transfer portal, and obviously DJ's had kind of a fascinating career up to this point. When he first came onto the scene in 2020, had to play for Trevor Lawrence, who was nicked up there. Maybe even, I think Lawrence had COVID, actually, is what happened there. He played really well, right? 67%, 914 yards, 5 touchdowns, a lot of that damage in his 2 starts that season. So you're thinking, oh my gosh, Lawrence goes pro, we got our next guy. Well, hasn't gone to plan. 2021, he really struggled, more picks than touchdowns. 55.5% completion. This year he was better, but still wasn't great, didn't finish strong, and got benched for Cade Klubnik in the ACC title game, so he put his name into the portal. I still think a lot of interest will be there from schools like UCLA, and also his brother is a 2023 recruit. Depending on where he goes, could impact where DJ goes and vice versa. Hudson Card, another quarterback in the college football transfer portal of Texas, guy who has a lot of experience, played in a handful of games last year, played in a lot of games this year when Quinn Ewers missed some time. He's going to garner some interest. He is still available. Brennan Armstrong, who's had a fascinating career, was great in 2021, struggled this season playing for former Clemson offensive coordinator and now Virginia head coach Tony Elliott. We'll see where he lands, but a lot of these quarterbacks have different strengths and weaknesses, and they're all going to get opportunities to play somewhere in 2023. Now, if you could pick any of these quarterbacks, who would you pick? Type DL for Devin Leary, HC for Hudson Card, DJ for DJ Uiagalelei, or BA for Brennan Armstrong. I think I would go Leary, but I don't know. DJ is just a little too sketchy for me, not consistent enough throwing the football. If you had to pick one guy, let me know who it would be down in the comments. More players in the portal here. Mizzou wide receiver Dominic Lovett has had some production, so we'll see where he ends up landing as he is also in the college football transfer portal right now. You got Denver Harris, who was a huge recruit last year for Texas A&M. Unfortunately, the thing he was most known for this year was going 75 miles an hour into a parking garage in College Station, as things did not go well for the Aggies. I think they're up to 22 players in the portal or something like that. I mean, it is a mess, but he was a massive recruit. Keep an eye on him and some of those other A&M transfers as well. Subscribe to the channel as we'll break down a few more players in the portal as we have the latest college football news, rumors, transfer portal updates, college football playoff coverage, recruiting as well. Next week and a half going to be huge for recruiting. So lock it in, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have you covered. How about another quarterback, Spencer Sanders? If nothing else, very experienced, 4-year starter at Oklahoma State. He should garner some interest. He's a guy who can run as well, so keep an eye on him. And keep an eye on this next quarterback who's also experienced, just coming from a smaller school. That is Grayson McCall out of Coastal Carolina. Now, Grayson McCall is reportedly visiting Auburn this weekend, and he's garnered interest from several schools. Liberty's in the mix because that's where his former coach Jamie Chadwell went. But Auburn could be interesting as Hugh Freeze is looking for his quarterback. According to CBS, NC State, Liberty, Florida, UCLA, Oregon State, all interested in McCall, and of course Auburn as well, as he's going to take a visit this weekend. You compare these two quarterbacks, Spencer Sanders and Grayson McCall, obviously playing at different levels, right? Where Spencer Sanders competed in the Big 12, Grayson McCall in the Sun Belt, but both have a lot of experience. McCall's raw numbers certainly better, but again, the level of competition has to factor in here as well. I think both these guys are going to have chances to play for Power 5 programs next year if they want to. And then Ajani Cornelius, the offensive lineman out of Rhode Island, making the jump from FCS to FBS. He has garnered a lot of interest. We will see where he lands. I think there's a chance he could play for a Power 5 program, which would be quite the leap. So there you go. Some of the top players left in the portal. Then also other notable quarterbacks still hanging out in the portal. And there's more names beyond this, but these are some ones I wanted to mention. Graham Mertz out of Wisconsin, he's still available. We'll see where he ends up playing. Ole Miss's Luke Altmaier, who couldn't win the job over Jackson Dart. He is in the portal. Drew Pine, who started most of this year for Notre Dame, but he has entered the portal looking for a new opportunity. Boise State's Hank Bachmeier, who was a 3-year starter there. Davis Brand at Tulsa, 3-year starter, I believe, there also. So a lot of quarterbacks available in the portal. And I believe, I do want to double check this, Davis Brand's former head coach, Philip Montgomery, I think he has gone to Auburn to be their OC, so I wonder if he could be an option. That is correct. I just checked. So maybe Davis Brin, in addition to Grayson McCall, could be a portal option for Hugh Freeze and Auburn. Now, who do you guys think is the best player still remaining in the transfer portal? We've thrown some names at you over the past few minutes. Let me know in the comment section below. DJU is probably the biggest name, but is he the best? I don't know. Let me know what your guys' opinion is on that one. And while you're at it, make sure you guys subscribe. Again, as bigger names enter the portal, as commitments start to drop, we're going to continue to update our tracker here. So go ahead and subscribe right now, as we are your home for college football during this time of year. All right, what do you guys think? Best player in the portal. Andrew says Grayson McCall, Finchel Cypress. Travis Hunter, is he... I think he's going to Colorado. It may not be official, but he's going to Colorado. I think technically none of those guys are in the portal because they're going to play in the Celebration Bowl. I think even Shador Sanders, Deion's son, is still going to play in that for Jackson State. So technically those guys haven't entered the portal, but a lot of those kids are going to go to Colorado. Jungle Boy says McCall. Joe Lord says Cord. I think you mean Card. Hudson Card. Let us know who you think the best player in the portal is. All right, one segment down. Next segment coming up here shortly is the top 25 recruiting classes. And Rolly, give me just a second here to pull up that 24/7 page. I've got some extra information in front of me here. All right, here we go. Top 25 classes, guys. National Signing Day, 1 week away. So we will break that down next as we keep it rolling here on College Football Now. Welcome into College Football Now. I am Harrison Graham, and on today's show, we're going to break down the top 25 recruiting classes just 1 week away, 6 days away, depending on when you're watching this, from National Signing Day. Next Wednesday, December 21st, is National Signing Day. Some people call it early signing day. This is the real signing day nowadays, folks. So that's when most players will sign their letters of intent and decide to where they're going to play college football, and a lot of these players will also enroll in the spring semester. All right, here we go. Top 25 classes. At number 25, the Louisville Cardinals, who currently have 14 commits. 7 of those are 4-stars, so sneaking in there with the 25th ranked class. Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes, 24th with 20 commits right now. 1 5-star, 1 4-star, 18 3-stars at this point in time for Iowa. The Texas Tech Red Raiders coming in with the 23rd ranked class as Joey McGuire hitting the recruiting trail in year 1, has 24 commits, 3 4-stars, 21 3-stars so far. And look out for Texas Tech as a potential fit for some transfer portal kids as well. The Baylor Bears at number 22, they have 22 commits right now. 3 of them are 4-stars, 19 of them are 3-stars, as Dave Aranda continues to recruit pretty well there as well. Bit of a surprise here, the Michigan Wolverines, just the 21st ranked class right now. And I think some of that is the impact of Jim Harbaugh flirting with the NFL a year ago. I think that's probably hurt this class a little bit because, remember, a lot of these players that have committed have been committed for the better part of a year, and there was a lot of drama this time last year. Is Harbaugh going to leave? Is he going to stay? So we'll see if they can make some moves in the portal and, leading up to National Signing Day here. Top 20, the Utah Utes with the 20th ranked recruiting class. 20 commits in total, 5 4-stars and 15 3-stars for Kyle Whittingham and the Utes. The TCU Horned Frogs, led by Sonny Dykes in his first year, he's got 21 commits right now. 5 4-stars, 16 3-stars, and they're in the mix for several transfer portal kids, including a couple of those A&M cast-offs, so keep an eye on them as well. Speaking of the Horned Frogs, who you got in the college football playoff semifinal game out there in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona? Number 2, Michigan, or number 3, TCU. Type MICH for Michigan or TCU for the TCU Horned Frogs. Number 18, it's South Carolina. Shane Beamer doing a nice job. 11 4-stars, 18 commits in total. I think the big question coming up is what is going to happen at quarterback. Will Spencer Rattler stay or go? Right now they're at number 18. Florida State at number 17. They got 16 commits right now. 1 5-star, 7 4-stars from Mike Norvell, as he's got a top 20 class as we speak. Number 16, the Arkansas Razorbacks. They got 23 commits in total, 9 of which are 4-stars. So Sam Pittman, bit of a down year for him in the Hogs, but still hitting it hard on the recruiting trail. BetUS, the place to go if you want to go bet on some bowl games, as they actually get started this weekend. So get your bowl game bets in right now. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. Put down $100 when you sign up. They will give you $125 for free. It is chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. Top 15 we go. Jimbo Fisher and the Texas A&M Aggies, not quite the recruiting class from a year ago, but still top 15. 2 5-stars, 13 commits in total, 7 4-stars. So some high value players, but a low volume class. I think A&M, with several players entering the portal, could probably be looking to add some players in the portal as well. Now, is Jimbo Fisher on the hot seat heading into 2023? I think the question has to be asked. Now, beating LSU cooled things off a bit, there's no doubt, but that doesn't mean that 5 and 7 is going to cut it in College Station. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Do you guys think Jimbo is on the hot seat? USC, Lincoln Riley's got 19 commits right now, 3 5-stars, 7 4-stars in the class as we speak, as they try to make a push for a top 10 class. James Franklin and Penn State, a number 13 ranked class, 21 commits, 1 5-star, 14 4-stars out of the 21 players who have committed as of now. The Oregon Ducks coming in Dan Lanning's first year with 24 commits, 2 5-stars, 12 4-stars, 10 3-stars, as Oregon looking to hit the recruiting trail hard as they've had several coaching changes in the last decade or so. Subscribe to the channel as college football recruiting is heating up. We're going to do some individual class rankings on National Signing Day, some more segments leading up to signing day as well. We'll have some signing day coverage also. So subscribe to the channel. We are your home for recruiting here on YouTube. The Clemson Tigers with 24 commits right now, led by 1 5-star and 17 4-stars. Obviously, they're going to move forward with K. Klubnik at quarterback. It could be a big year in 2023 for Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. Top 10 we go. The Florida Gators, Billy Napier hitting the recruiting trail, 22 commits. No 5-stars, but 18 4-stars for Florida so far. They got to figure out what's going to happen at quarterback as Anthony Richardson has gone pro. Jalen Kitna was arrested for child pornography charges. So, they got to figure that out. But they have a lot of talent coming in otherwise. The Tennessee Volunteers, who jumped up a slot here because they got a commitment today. They got 1 5-star, 12 4-stars, 11 3-stars. Josh Heupel is recruiting. Tennessee might be back, folks. I don't think this year was a one-year write-off. We'll see how next year goes. Oklahoma Sooners, who need to get back on track here. 23 commits, 2 5-stars, 12 4-stars. They're a big team to watch in the transfer portal as well in Brent Venables' first full offseason. The LSU Tigers with 24 commits. Brian Kelly getting it done. 17 4-stars, 1 5-star so far. Question for the Tigers next year, who's going to be their starting quarterback? Jaden Daniels, Gus Nussmeier. We'll have to wait and see. The Miami Hurricanes with 23 commits. Look, we know what Mario Cristobal can recruit. Can he coach? That's the question. 2 5-stars, 11 4-stars in this class as of now. Top 5 we go. The Ohio State Buckeyes with 20 commits, 1 5-star, 19 4-stars. They get a second chance as well in the college football playoffs. Speaking of which, who you got between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Georgia Bulldogs? Type UGA for Georgia, OSU for Ohio State. That'll be the 1 versus 4 matchup down there in Atlanta. Number 4, the Texas Longhorns, led by Arch Manning, obviously, one of 3 5-stars in this class. Also 10 4-stars coming in, 21 commits in total for Steve Sarkisian. At number 3, it's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Nice volume class here. 26 commits for Marcus Freeman, 1 5-star, 21 4-stars for Notre Dame, as after a slow start to the Freeman era, righted the ship a little bit, should have some momentum going into next season. 2 more schools to go. The Georgia Bulldogs, 23 commits for Kirby Smart, 19 4-stars, 1 5-star as of now. They, of course, are gearing up for the college football playoff to try and defend that national championship. And then, guess who? Alabama, number 1 ranked recruiting class, 25 commits. This is a typo by me. 21 are 4-stars. 3 of them are 5-stars. So 25 commits for Alabama. According to the 24 Sports Composite, which is where these rankings come from, they have a pretty sizable lead over Georgia for the top class in the country. Now, who will finish with that number 1 ranked recruiting class? Bama's got the edge right now, but some still big names that need to commit between now and obviously next season. Who do you guys think will get that top class? If you think it's Alabama, let me know down below. And subscribe to the channel. Again, we're going to be your home for National Signing Day next Wednesday, and several other college football videos leading up to then, transfer portal updates, other recruiting videos. So please subscribe and turn on your notifications. That way you never miss a video here at Chat Sports. All right, here. Tony says Georgia. Gaming Wizard says Bama. Andrew says Bama. We got Tony saying TCU won't get the number 1 class. Alabama from AJ. We got Rashard Lee saying Bama. I do think it'll be Bama. They got about if you're familiar with the 24/7 Sports Composite point system, they got about a 13-point lead. That's pretty sizable between 1 and 2. So we'll see what happens in the next week. And after signing day as well. Some kids will wait until the spring until they make a decision here. Halfway done, halfway to go here. 2 more segments coming up. Todd McShay unveiled his first mock draft for 2023. That, of course, is college football related, as a lot of these kids will be going to the NFL. So we react to McShay's mock draft coming up right now here on College Football Now. College Football Now is presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. And if you're looking to hire and build your business right now, LinkedIn is the place to do it. Go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily, as they're going to give you the best chance to hire the right candidates. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Get started today. Kind of a College Football Now, NFL Daily hybrid video here, as we're recording this live on College Football Now. But it is Todd McShay's first 2023 mock draft, NFL and college related here. So we'll go ahead and jump on into it here. Bryce Young, the #1 overall pick to the Houston Texans, the Alabama quarterback, who has obviously put together 2 stellar seasons in Tuscaloosa. I would be shocked if the Texans did not draft a quarterback #1, and I agree with McShay. I think Bryce Young gets the edge over C.J. Stroud. At #2, the Seattle Seahawks, who get this pick courtesy of the Denver Broncos via the Russell Wilson trade. It's Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle out of Georgia, who is a special talent. There's a lot of debate between him and Will Anderson, who's the better prospect. Carter's starting to rise, and I think Mel Kiper's latest big board has Carter as his #1 overall prospect over Will Anderson. Seattle adds a disruptor at that defensive tackle position. Now, do you guys want more NFL mock drafts here at Chat Sports from me, Tom Downey, anyone else at the Chat Sports staff? Let us know if you do. Type me in the comment section below. I think mock drafts are fun, and we can do a bunch of different ones for our own. React to ESPN, the athletic ones, other big outlets as well. So if you want more mock drafts, all you got to do is type me in the comments. All right, next up is Will Anderson Jr. as the Alabama edge rusher lands with the Chicago Bears, and the Bears need help on that defensive line. Carter, Anderson, either of those players would be just fine. Detroit Lions go with C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback, according to Todd McShay. And look, I don't know what Detroit's going to do. This pick, courtesy of the L.A. Rams via the Matthew Stafford trade. And if you're Detroit, it's going to be real interesting to see how they finish this year, because Jared Goff's been hot. He's got 2 more years left on his deal. It's possible they don't draft a quarterback, depending on how things finish. So keep an eye on that as we progress over the next few weeks. This is when things get interesting. Texas running back Bijan Robinson goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I do get McShay's reasoning a bit. Couple reasons. One, Philadelphia, they can treat this as a luxury pick, right? Like that trade with the Saints, they did not think this pick would be that high. And Philly's got a complete roster. Miles Sanders is a free agent at running back. So Bijan, drafting a running back this high might be a bit of a reach. But at the same time, you add him to that Eagles offense, that could be pretty nasty. Now, will Bijan Robinson be a top 10 pick? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think he's top 10 talent, but it's kind of positional value, right? Running backs aren't as valuable as they used to be. I think there's a chance a team like Philly could take him. With the #6 pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Will Levis, a.k.a. Mayo Boy, out of Kentucky. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I don't see it in Levis, but scouts love him. McShay and Kiper are big fan. I think Kiper had Levis as his top quarterback recently. I'm just like, I don't get it. But he goes to the Falcons here. The #7 picks, Peter Skoronski, the offensive tackle out of Northwestern. Not a super strong offensive line class, but Skoronski's a very talented player. Plays left tackle, but he has short arms. Some think he will move to guard in the NFL. They also said that about, I'm drawing a blank, who's the Northwestern guy a few years ago? Rashawn Slater. They said the same about him, and he's worked out pretty well as a tackle. Tyree Wilson, the defensive end out of Texas Tech, really good pass rusher, freaky athletic traits. Raiders, outside of Max Crosby, could use some more pass rushing help, so they get one here with the #8 pick. Another offensive lineman here, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Again, it's not the strongest O-line class, but there's 2 or 3 guys that could go in the top 15 here, and McShay has both Skoronski and Paris Johnson going in the top 10, Johnson landing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, post your job for free if you're looking to grow your business with LinkedIn Talent Solutions. All you got to do is go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's what we've done here at Chat Sports. We've used LinkedIn Jobs our last couple of hiring cycles, and it's helped us add people like producer Nick Roloff, who's producing this show, and several other candidates as well. It's given us a higher hit rate on candidates, and that's huge because if you have a kind of a startup business going, one bad hire could make or break your company, or one good hire could make or break your company. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. Post your job for free. One more time, it's LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. That link will be in the description of this video. With the number 10 pick in Todd McShay's mock draft, Brian Bresee, the defensive tackle out of Clemson. I like his game a lot. High motor, really physical player. I think top 10, top 15 is good value for him. Okay, another curveball here. Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback, goes to Carolina. And look, I think McShay is not the best draft analyst, to say the least. But what I will say is it only takes one team and one GM to fall in love with Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is 6'5", 250, and he can throw the ball 80 yards. Some team's going to fall in love with him. I would not be shocked if he went first round at all. Number 11, that feels rich. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't be shocked if someone did, so I'm not going to go completely anti-McShay here. Do you guys think Anthony Richardson is going in the first round? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. I do think some team will do it in the first round. Top 10, top 15, I don't know. First round, though, I bet someone falls in love with those physical attributes. Michael Mayer, the Notre Dame tight end. So you go from maybe the biggest risk in the draft in Anthony Richardson to Michael Mayer, maybe the safest pick. I mean, at worst, he's going to be like an above-average tight end in the NFL. Really good prospect. Texans had a weapon for Bryce Young. At number 13, one of my favorites, no bias whatsoever. Okay, a little bias. Went to my alma mater. Quentin Johnston, the wide receiver out of TCU, first receiver off the board, 6'4", 215, elusive in size combo that we rarely see. Jacksonville gets a big-time weapon for Trevor Lawrence. The Packers would like Quentin Johnston with Aaron Rodgers, but they go Myles Murphy, which great value, by the way. He's a top 6-7 prospect. According to most experts, he falls to 14. Really good pass rusher out of Clemson. New England Patriots get one of the other good offensive linemen in this draft, Broderick Jones, maybe an Isaiah Wynn replacement at number 15. Could make some sense there. Detroit Lions with their own pick now. Joey Porter Jr., maybe the best corner in this class out of Penn State. Physical player, likes to press, brings that nasty. You could pair him with Jeff Okudah. Osiris Torrance, the offensive lineman out of Florida, physical guard, might be the best guard in this draft. Not a very deep guard draft at all. He lands with the Jets at number 17 overall. Now subscribe now, as we believe that we have the best draft coverage here on the internet. Our NFL draft coverage would suggest that, as the last few years we've had either the most watched or top 3 most watched live NFL draft coverage here on YouTube. So subscribe right now. We'll be live for the draft in April, but hundreds of draft videos between now and then. Brian Branch, the Alabama safety, going to Seattle with the number 18 pick as they add another piece to that back end. At number 19, the Oregon Ducks safety Christian Gonzalez lands with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been rising up draft boards. Keep an eye on him during draft season. Here's another receiver, Jordan Addison to the Giants. My boy Marshall Green's going to love this one. Number 20 pick, great value. He can stretch the field. He can make people miss in the open field. He's kind of like a skinny Stephon Diggs. That's kind of the comp we came up with here in the office. Really good after the catch, explosive route runner. Little thin, about 170, 175 pounds. You'd like to get him into the mid-180s. We'll see if he can put on some weight. Keely Ringo, one of my favorite corners in this class. I don't think he's getting enough love. 6'2", he's physical, really good technique out of Georgia. He goes to the Commanders at 21. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who it's kind of a nigba, not to go pun on words there, in this draft. He basically did not play this year. kept retweaking the hamstring, hardly played at all for Ohio State, still recovering, not going to play in the college football playoff. I'll be very curious to see if he tests and how he tests at the NFL Combine here in February. Who you got in the college football playoff? No Smith and Jigba for the Buckeyes, but Ohio State is in it. Type UGA for Georgia. They will face Ohio State. Type OSU for Ohio State. Michigan and TCU will square off. Type MICH for Michigan or TCU for TCU if you think they will win the college football playoff national championship. Cam Smith, the corner out of South Carolina, he goes to the Chargers at 23. J.C. Jackson got banged up this year, didn't play that well. They add another corner. Jahmyr Gibbs, I was a little surprised to see a second running back off the board in this mock draft from Todd McShay. He goes to the Broncos. Pair him with Javonte Williams. Gibbs is explosive. I mean, he can catch the ball. He can really go in open space. You think back to the Arkansas game earlier this year. I think he had like 3 runs of 70 yards or more or something. I mean, he is a really dynamic running back. With the 25th pick, Clark Phillips III, Jim Thorpe Award finalist out of Utah. Did not win it, but he goes to the Baltimore Ravens here at 25. Devin Weatherspoon out of Illinois, a really good DB. I'm a big fan of his. He goes to the Bengals at 26. How about Zay Flowers going round 1 in this mock out of Boston College? He's kind of all over the map. I've seen round 1 buzz. I've seen he could fall to round 3. So I'll be really curious to see where Zay Flowers goes. Antonio Johnson, the safety out of Texas A&M. He lands with the Buffalo Bills here at number 28. Now remember, only 31 first-round picks this year as the Miami Dolphins forfeited their first-round pick due to tampering. So 3 more here. Dallas lands Lucas Van Ness, the defensive end out of Iowa, as they get some beef on that defensive line. Jared Verse, the edge out of Florida State. He goes number 30 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs as they add another pass rusher. And then Isaiah Posky, the defensive end out of Notre Dame, goes 31st overall to the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, this draft order just based on current records in the NFL. So there you go. And there you have it. Todd McShay releasing his first mock draft. Is there someone he missed? Did he forget a name? Rolly's boy Josh Downs didn't go in this mock draft. Drew Sanders, a name that comes to mind. Let me know, who did Todd McShay forget about? Now, McShay did mention 5 other prospects that he was intrigued about. We're just on the outside looking in. Army edge rusher Andre Carter II, really good in 2021. Not as good this year, but still a potential round 1 selection. Keon White, the Georgia Tech linebacker. Josh Downs, just mentioned him, speedy receiver out of North Carolina. Siakiaka, the defensive tackle out of Baylor. And then Arkansas linebacker Drew Sanders. Positional value could play in there, but I think he's got a chance to go round 1. And then 5 other prospects that Tom Downey wanted to mention here, names to watch that didn't go in the first round here. Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson. Georgia tight end Darnell Washington. Tennessee wide receiver Jalen Hyatt, who declared on Wednesday he will not play in the Orange Bowl. He will start preparing for the draft. Georgia edge rusher Nolan Smith, who got injured, tore his pec. I think he's a first-round talent, but the injury could drop into the second round. And then Felix, I always screw this one up, Edudike Uzoma, who I watched in person the Big 12 title game. He is explosive as a pass rusher coming out of Kansas State. So there you have it, Todd McShay's first mock draft for 2023, plus some other prospects to watch as well. We'll continue to hit you with some draft videos here at Chat Sports, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel today. All right, who you got in the CFP? Get some shout-outs going here. Let's see. Liz Bastic says Michigan. Wealthy Future says TCU. Tony Fuentes says TCU. Slick says Ohio State. Michigan from Andrew Hawley. Ohio State from Lori Lori. Who you guys think wins the national championship? Let's see here. I hope Dallas draft Trenton Simpson. We'll see. We will see. Ohio State versus TCU, but it will be Georgia versus TCU. That's what Look At Me says. We'll see. We will see. I put one out earlier, Tony. You didn't see it? Put one out earlier. All right.
Tony, I love the dedication, though.
Rolly's impressed, Tony, that you're always locked in at Chat Sports. Always locked in. All right, one more segment to go. Recruiting is starting to ramp up, and we got 25 4 stars or better that have not committed yet to programs. We'll break down those players coming up here in just a second. Give me just a second here to pull up the player rankings as I get this in front of me here, and we will be good to go. All right, I'm ready to rock and roll here on College Football Now. Top 25 uncommitted recruits coming at you right now. Before we jump into today's recruiting video here at College Football Now, recruiting's heating up. National Signing Day is next Wednesday, the 21st, so a lot of videos between now and then that we're going to bring to you, updates, rumors, team classes, top 25 classes, keeping an eye on recruits that haven't committed today, which is what we're going to do today. We cover it all, so subscribe to the channel. It's youtube.com/@chatsports. I'm Harrison Graham, and you are watching College Football Now by Chat Sports. And on today's show, we're going to take a look at the top 25 uncommitted recruits. As, these are high school kids trying to determine what is best for their future. Several of these guys have not committed to a school with National Signing Day looming, so we will kind of get you caught up on who those players are and maybe, the tea leaves of where they could be heading. All right, we'll start with Damon Wilson out of Venice, Florida, the edge rusher, number 13 overall player in this class. Ohio State lean as of now. That's what the 24/7 composite crystal balls are suggesting, but we will see where Damon Wilson decides to go. Nicholas Harbor, the number 16 overall player, athlete out of Washington, D.C. We'll see what position he plays in college football. He's a heavy South Carolina lean, but we'll see where it goes from there. Deuce Robinson, who is the number 17 overall player, 6'6", 225 tight end, heavy USC lean out of Phoenix, Arizona, as Lincoln Riley trying to get another big-time recruit to pair with Caleb Williams. How about James Smith, the number 18 overall player out of Montgomery, Alabama? He's a big Bama lean, 6'3", 310 pounds coming out of high school. He might be rushing the passer pretty quickly here. Anthony Hill, the number 19 overall player out of Denton, Texas, went to Denton Ryan High School, a really profound program there. 6'2", 225-pound linebacker. He has the Texas crystal ball right now, as Steve Sarkisian looking to add another 5-star to his already top 5 ranked recruiting class. Now, speaking of Sark, do you believe in Steve Sarkisian as Texas's head coach? Type B for believe or type D for don't. I think some positive steps this season for the Texas Longhorns, going 8-4, but that's still not the standard in Austin. What do you guys think? B for believe or D for don't? Next up is Samson Okanoa, as he is out of Brockton, Massachusetts. 6'5", 305-pound offensive tackle. Miami crystal ball for it now, but a couple other schools in the mix. Qua Russell out of Montgomery, Alabama. He is a heavy Bama lean, but no commitment as of now. Now, Desmond Ricks out of IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Now you're thinking, Ricks. Eli Ricks, who went to LSU and then transferred to Bama, didn't do much for Bama this year. His brother Desmond's actually an LSU lean right now, so we'll see what happens there. Top 25 player, 6'1", 170-pound cornerback at the IMG Academy. Now you'll recognize this name as well, Mateo Uiagalelei. Yes, that is the brother of DJU, and not a lot of Uiagalelei's out there. Number 31 overall player. He's visited to Oregon, USC, and Ohio State. Hasn't taken an official visit in several months now. I think he's waiting to see what DJ does, or vice versa. I think they're going to end up being a package deal. We'll see what happens with both of the Uiagalelei's. And then we've got Javian Toviano here as the number 58 overall player in this class, the 4-star quarterback who is kind of crystal balled, split a little LSU in Texas. He's out of Arlington, Texas, just down the street from where we are here at Chat Sports. We'll see where he ends up going, the 6', 185-pound cornerback. Now, BetUS is a perfect place to go. If you want to bet on college football bowl games, NFL games, NBA, college basketball as well, you can also bet on future odds like national championship as well. Get signed up today, chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code CHAT125. Put down $100. They will give you $125 for free. Make some money with BetUS today, and check out the latest national championship odds. Now, this is to win the whole thing, not just one game in the CFP. Georgia minus 135 odds to repeat as national champions. Michigan plus 275. Ohio State plus 375. And then my alma mater, not much love from Vegas to the Horned Frogs, plus 1,800. I almost want to throw a little tenner down because, it's only 4 teams. I mean, someone's got to win it. Plus 1,800 to win the national championship. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is chat125. All right, next up is Jordan Hall, the number 73 overall player in this class out of Jacksonville, Florida. Kind of split on the crystal ball from 24/7 Sports Composite. Georgia, Florida State seem to be the top 2 schools in the mix, but we will see where things go from there. Malachi Coleman, the number 84 overall player. He's a heavy lean to Nebraska. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska, so staying home could make a lot of sense. 6'5", 205. Put him at the X receiver spot and throw some jump balls to Mr. Malachi Coleman. Number 86 overall player, Roderick Pleasant, the cornerback out of Gardena, California. Not really a crystal ball lean right now, as he has visited with several schools up to this point. Oregon, Cal, also visited Jackson State. Now, that was before Deion Sanders left for Colorado. Could Colorado get into the mix? So kind of up in the air for Roderick Pleasant at this point in time. Next up is Tausili Akana, the number 102 overall player in this class. Oklahoma crystal ball lean as of now, 6'4", 225-pound edge rusher. How about Walker Lyons, the number 114 overall player in this class? Heavy Stanford lean, but that crystal ball from 24/7 Sports came in before David Shaw and Stanford parted ways. So we'll see if Walker Lyons kind of looks elsewhere as he continues with his recruiting process. Jelani McDonald, number 130 overall prospect, heavy Texas lean as of now. The athlete from Waco, Texas, 6'2", 190 pounds. Joshua Mickens, 131st ranked player in this class, 6'5" edge rusher out of Indianapolis. Ohio State, LSU seem to be the top 2 schools in the mix right now, but we'll see if things change between now and signing day. Michael Harrison, pilot, number 150 overall player. TCU lean, Houston making a push, 6 foot, 190 pounds, out of Temple, Texas. We'll see what position he plays in college. Speaking of the Horned Frogs, who do you guys think wins the national championship? Type UGA for Georgia, TCU for TCU, MICH for Michigan, or OSU for Ohio State. Let us know who's winning the national title. Daniel Harris, the number 153 ranked player in this class, 6'2", 175-pound corner. Georgia, Penn State, the 2 players in the mix. He is from Miami. We'll see if the Hurricanes can get in there as well. Kendrick Riscano, the number 166th ranked player in this class from New Caney, Texas. Not a lot of Texas schools currently in the mix, as it's a Miami lean right now. Bama, Ole Miss, Penn State, Michigan State have been in the mix as well, so kind of all over the place for Kendrick Riscano. Isaac Smith, the number 174 overall player in this class. He is from Fulton, Mississippi. LSU lean. Mississippi State had been in the mix. Now, does Mike Leach's tragic passing impact his recruiting process? Hard to know, but they have promoted their defensive coordinator, and he is a defensive player, so we'll see what Isaac Smith opts to do. Carmelo English, the number 178 overall player, the wide receiver out of Phoenix City, Alabama. Heavy Auburn lean. We'll see if Hugh Freeze can land him. Damari Brown, number 185 ranked player here, as he is from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Miami is the lean right now, but Alabama in the mix as well for the top 200 cornerback. Jair Hill, the number 194th ranked player in this class. He is a heavy Michigan lean. Illinois had been in the mix, but Ryan Walters left Illinois, the defensive coordinator there, to take the Purdue head coaching job. So seems like Michigan's probably going to get the commitment here. And then Rico Walker, the edge rusher, number 215th ranked player in this class, out of Hickory, North Carolina. North Carolina lean. Maryland has been in the mix, as has Kentucky, who has kind of made a late push here for him. So we'll see where Rico Walker ends up signing. Shout out your favorite college football team in the comments. Those are 25 uncommitted recruits as of now, as we film this on a Wednesday night. So some of these names could commit soon. So shout out your favorite team. Let us know who you're repping down in the chat. And also subscribe to the channel because Chat Sports is your home for college football news, rumors, transfer portal updates, recruiting buzz, college football playoff analysis, and everything else in between. Hit the sub button. We're going to have you covered. Don't go anywhere. Keep it dialed here throughout the month of December for more college football coverage. Now, do you believe in Steve Sarkisian as Texas's head coach? Do you believe in Sark? By the way, let's not loop this Rolly just because of audience. Yeah, I think it'll be better just put that first video out. So less than 200. We won't loop here. So B for believe, D for don't. We'll get some shout outs and then we'll sign off here shortly. So do you believe in Sark? And also shout out your favorite team. Tony believes in them. Michael says go blue. Lewis says roll Tide or roll. TCU from Tony. James says the Gators. Florida fan there. All right, guys. Appreciate you tuning in today. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to sign off here. Shout out producer Rolly for producing the show. And we will see you next time here at